What's going on, you guys? Daniel DB here, and today I'll be ranking all 9 Scream killers from the worst to the best. So let's go. Alright, so in ninth place, I don't really think that there's too many people out there that are ranking the Scream killers that disagree with me. Charlie Walker. Now, as a killer, I think he had some of the best kills of the series. But, as a character, I completely forgot about him, just was not interested in him at all, which is really weird because I'm kind of like the film nerd at my school. And I just thought that was so weird that there's this film nerd in a horror movie that I did not connect with. And like up until he's banging on the door, Kirby, let me in, I forgot that he was a character in the series. And that's saying a lot for a Scream character, because most of the time they're either memorable or they're just completely forgettable. You don't know anything about them. This is one of those. So in ninth place, Charlie Walker. In eighth place is Mrs. Loomis, also known as Debbie Salt. Now, I wouldn't exactly call this character bad after she's revealed as a killer, but it's another one of those, like, she had some pretty good kills, but she was just a forgettable character. And so when she walks outside with Gail at gunpoint, I just stared at the screen wondering who it was. And so I just thought it was kind of weird. And you don't see her very much as Debbie Salt. In fact, I think she has more screen time as Mrs. Loomis than she does as Debbie Salt, which is kind of weird for a Scream character to have more time after they're revealed as a killer. And so, like, also doesn't help that this is one of my least favorite Scream movies. It is my least favorite Scream movie. So yeah, I did enjoy her. I think they definitely should have given her more time in this movie. So 8th place, Mrs. Loomis. In 7th place is Mickey Altieri, which I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to say his name. I'm not sure. It's just that's the way I say it. I don't think there's any other way to say it. So that's how I'm gonna say it. Mickey Altieri. Again, forgettable character. Worst Scream movie in existence so far. And he didn't get more screen time actually after he was revealed. He got about the same. I really enjoyed the actor's performance. I think he could have done a lot better if he had more to work with. When Mickey's revealed as a killer, I gotta tell you guys, like, these Scream movies, I can normally tell who the killer's gonna be. This one actually surprised me the first time watching it about 4 years ago, right before I went into high school. So that's what moved him above Mrs. Loomis. So 7th place, Mickey Altieri. In sixth place is Roman Bridger, which a lot of people don't know him. Even when he takes the mask off, Sidney just kind of stares at him. He and Sidney did not have any scenes together in this movie. He was the director of Stab 3, which is being filmed during Scream 3. So yeah, really confusing. Roman is the typical whiny killer. I think. So, like, doesn't take rejection very well, doesn't take anything very well. Basically, he was rejected by his birth mother, and he decided to go off and kill her child that she does claim. Which I did think that was a really good motive. I thought that was a really interesting motive. Like, a couple of siblings who have never met, and then one of them wants to kill the other. I thought that was pretty good. Actually, I thought Scott Foley did a great job of what he had to work with. But the thing that really puts Roman behind everybody else is just how whiny he is, and the fact that Scott Foley just didn't have very much to work with. Like, basically they had the entire script written with him having an accomplice. Well, Columbine happened, and they made them go back and rewrite the entire movie. And Kevin Williamson wasn't going to do that, so they brought in a new guy, who even he was like, I don't want to be involved in this. I'm going to ruin it. And I really wish he had gone with his gut on that one, and they had decided to keep the original script, because I think with the original script, it would have been a lot better. So, number 6, Roman Bridger. In 5th place is Jill Roberts, Sydney's cousin, which I loved this reel. Loved it. Loved every second of it. I thought she did amazing. But with her competition in this, she was just bound to be like number 5 or lower. I thought that she was an amazing character even before she was revealed as the killer. I really liked her. She was played by one of my favorite child actors at the time, before Jenna Ortega came, and before I discovered Jenna Ortega from this new one. Her motive was again a little whiny, like, I want all the fame that you have, and I'm gonna kill you to get it. Like, dude, if you're able to convince somebody that you're not Ghostface, go into acting. I mean, like, if you have that much talent in acting, go into acting. You don't have to go and be the only survivor of a killing spree to become famous. Like, you can just go and start acting, and you will be perfectly fine. That's what I plan on doing after school. I plan on writing, directing, and acting in movies. So, it's not that hard. Like on YouTube now, there's people who have never worked a day in their lives and are millionaires because of YouTube. And this was 2011 though, so this movie was way before its time. So back then, you kind of did have to do something big to become famous, but not that big. I mean, come on. That scene where she's just running around attacking herself was amazing. Loved every second of that. But her competition put her lower on this list. So 5th place, Jill Roberts. In 4th place is Billy Loomis. Yes, Billy Loomis. Mama's boy to a T, Billy Loomis. Honestly, all of these Scream Killers, their motives are a little whiny. Like, you got Billy, where Sydney's mom had an affair with Billy's dad, and then Billy's mom got mad and left. And then Billy's mom is just like, I want revenge. Roman's motive, just him wanting the fame that she had, and then Jill's motive being jealous of that fame. So really, all their motives were about just something whiny until this new one. And I like Billy. I thought that he was really good for the killer. And of course, he was the original killer, so that is something big in itself. Absolutely love Skeeter's performance, but his competition edges him out in a very big way. Like my number 3 spot, my number 3 spot just goes over the top. But Billy just seemed a little obvious to be the killer in this movie. So number 4, Billy Loomis. In 3rd place is the other killer from Scream 1, Stu Macher. Again, really enjoyed this character, but his competition just edges him out. Just edges him out. And love Matthew Lillard. Absolutely love him. I look up to him as an actor because I plan on going into acting myself. So I really look up to Matthew Lillard as an actor. He's kind of like my inspiration to be an actor. But just his competition here with these two characters were the best, I think, from the best Scream movie, from I think the best motives. So his competition just kind of edges him out. But again, I love Matthew Lillard's performance. I love that he goes all in for this performance. I love that he gives 110% in everything that he does. He just goes over the top, especially when he grabs that voice changer. Surprise, Sydney. That was one of my favorite moments in any horror movie. And I hate saying this because I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash from it. The original movie is kind of overrated, so I really Like, I thought that the first Scream movie was overrated, so the killers aren't going to be my top 2 picks like it would be with anybody else. But yeah, I really enjoyed that reveal with both killers. I think that was the first movie that they ever made where there were 2 killers. And I really appreciate it, and I love Matthew Lillard's performance, but his competition again edges him out. So number 3, Stu Macher. In second place is Richie Kirsch from this, which is the male killer from this new Scream movie. There's a male killer and there's a female killer, and I feel like Richie is kind of like that. He's more of a Billy Loomis character than anything else, but he's not suspicious. Like, you're not suspicious of him at all throughout the movie, except for one moment, which I'll get into later when I go through and I rank my characters, if I do that. Really enjoyed this. I loved the way that they revealed him. Him and my number 1 pick both. I love the way that they revealed them. They're both from the same movie. But yeah, I absolutely love this reveal. I loved this guy's acting. I'm not sure. Jack Quaid, I think. I love his acting in this movie. But yeah, I honestly think that they couldn't have found somebody better to play Richie, because I think Jack Quaid's performance is what makes Richie who he is to me. Like, he goes through this whole movie and you're like, no, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. And then he stabs Sam and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's where we're going with this? Okay. Yeah, Jack Quaid, very, very convincing in this role. I absolutely loved that reveal. I wasn't surprised because I couldn't stay off of YouTube on the day that I was going to go and watch this in theaters, and I found out who both of the killers were. But I did love the way that they executed it and the way that they did it. So, in second place, Richie Kirsch. In first place, we are finally here. In first place is Amber Freeman, which I absolutely love this reveal. Again, wasn't surprised, but I love the way they executed it. I love Mickey Madison's performance in this role. I thought that she was very convincing as this carrying. Honestly, I think that they might have been dating. That she might have been dating Tara. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised because you do have a couple making out that are lesbians. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were dating, but she seems more like that caring friend, though. Like that, do you have your extra inhaler? Like, that seems more like her best friend who's just always supportive of her. But also, it's kind of revealed that they're dating. And so, I really don't know about this character, but I absolutely loved her reveal. I love the way that they executed it. Liv comes in there, I'm not the killer. I know. Boom. Like, that is one of my favorite lines in the entire series. Just, I know. Bang. Absolutely love Mickey Madison's performance in this movie. Can't wait to see anything else that she's been in. But first place, Amber Freeman. And that's it. After 25 years of these films being made, I have finally given my full ranking of all 9 Ghostface killers. Let me know if you guys want me to give you guys some information about my Scream fan film, which I will. I'll get to it at some point when I get closer to filming. When I am filming, I'll give you a whole lot of information, like the cast, the script. I'll even like release little clips of the script every now and then, and I'll give you all the names of the characters and the killers and the costume and all that stuff. But yeah, that was my ranking of all 9 Ghostface killers. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.